some exciting stuff happening. I know, but how did you think 2022 treated you? Because I think 2022 treated you pretty nicely.
Yeah, I mean, we ended 21 with the MRTP from the FDA, the Modified Risk Tobacco Product, so it was a great ending to 21. That catapulted us into 22. And look, when I look back, we just launched the pilot back in April, and it's been expansion ever since on the VLN side, and already starting to help people. So it was a phenomenal 22, but as good as it was, I couldn't wait to start 2023 and really accelerate the expansion and help that many more people. So we're just excited to go into this year and really pivot into a massive success here with VLN.
Jim, we're talking about VLN and VLN menthol. How does your life change with the menthol legislation that we're hearing coming out of the FDA and such?
Yeah, it's interesting because we monitor it both on a federal level and on a state level. And momentum is building in both cases. Certainly California and Massachusetts in particular are leading the way on a state basis where combustible menthol regular cigarettes are banned, and we're working with those agencies for the exemptions. But then it's picking up momentum at the federal level as well. They continue to make progress there, and we anticipate a final rulemaking here within the next quarter, and their ability to take some action on menthols on a federal basis later this year or early part of 24. So it's building in both cases, and that sets up a nice off-ramp for menthol combustible nicotine cigarette smokers with VLN, and we're on it both at a state basis and a federal basis.
I think what's interesting for you is last year at this time, the FDA came out with a pretty heavy action towards dramatically reducing tobacco-related diseases. Have they doubled down on that yet, or do you expect it? Because you're in constant communication with them.
Yeah, they have shown no signs of slowing down. Their new cigarette tobacco products lead is made it very clear that it's a very high priority for the FDA. This is both on menthol itself and ultimately a nicotine mandate behind that. And then with the recent announcement of the law passing in New Zealand and them forging ahead to basically ban nicotine combustible cigarettes of all kind with high doses of nicotine in New Zealand by 25, that's now been put into law, and the FDA has seen that and continues to build momentum there. So there's no doubt in our minds that the future of a combustible
full bag, let's go.
cigarette, the standard cigarettes out there you see on this chart here, is coming to an end, and that the FDA will absolutely regulate this down to the 0.5 milligrams per gram of tobacco, which is the 95% VLN-based tobacco. So there's no doubt that's coming, and they are marching down the field as quickly as they can.
One of the things that emails that I get, I got Brooke Larson here, who's from Jackson, Tennessee. I was looking up the last email I got from you. Big questions consistently coming in about international for you. Well, I'll tell you what, that would be a game changer, would it not?
Yeah, and we're on it. I mean, the largest market in the world is still the United States. It's an $80 billion market, so obviously our attention is primarily focused there. But we're now getting onto the shelves in a more readily basis in South Korea after going through their process of labeling. And I'd say very soon we'll be announcing the next batch of countries we'll be launching in. They're heavy-hitting countries, large cigarette smoking entities with the right culture of trying to quit. And everyone needs to bear in mind that the major markets for us open up about mid-year when we have converted our MRTP or FDA authorization over to authorities such as Germany and the UK and France and Spain. They've got to review the information, document it on their own bureaucracy, and allow this MRTP equivalent. So those markets open up to us sometime around June or July, and obviously we'll be heading over to that.
Man, that was a good run.
Is massive. I mean, globally, we're talking about an $800 billion market, so we just can't stay entirely focused on the U.S., although that's our primary attention right now.
I got to ask Jim, by the way, Jim Mishra is our guest CEO of 22nd Century Group. They're publicly traded at the stock symbol XXII. Let's talk about hemp and cannabis. It's the hemp cannabis space is something we don't talk a lot about because we get so much interest in your harm reduction of tobacco. Talk about, is there stuff that you can share with us? I know that some stuff you can talk about, some stuff you can't. But what does 2023 look like for you guys on that front?
Yeah, 22 for us was exceptional in the hemp cannabis space. I mean, we really built out a very unique value chain. We're the only ones in the world that can understand how these cannabinoids, these ingredients work together in the human body, and receptor science that's becoming more and more required at the consumer level on these types of products, whether they're CBD based or THC based for recreational adult use or for medical or consumer products. We built out this foundation. We made a massive acquisition, became the leading CBD supplier in the world back in May. Continue to have growth in the ingredient side, double digits in consumer products. And we're excited about 23 mostly because we're extremely well positioned to become a leading CBD ingredient supplier globally and start to penetrate with multinational accounts into the nutraceutical space. The only thing holding that back is FDA finalizing their safety threshold of consumption of CBD. We expect that to happen in the first half of this year, and we are extremely well poised to benefit from that and see an exponential growth in CBD as an ingredient going into nutraceutical products, food and beverage products, and really around the world. The FDA is leading that. We're very closely working with them, and that will open up a massive market for us. And then we do white labeling, CDMO work for customers who are well known. And I'd say in a very short time period, there's going to be some very impactful news coming out from us in the hemp cannabis space. But we're really excited about it. We talk a lot about the tobacco and the foundation company, but our hemp cannabis business is extremely unique. And we're really positioned for exponential growth here in 23.
Hey Jim, I gotta ask for you. Are you looking forward to federal laws changing with cannabis hemp, or does that not really matter to you guys?
It doesn't really matter to us. I mean, we're not a branded company on cannabis and hemp. So we can supply today within the state seeds to MSOs, for example. We can supply CBD as an ingredient. So we're not a branded adult use company, which is really dependent upon the ultimate legalization of marijuana. We service those. So to us, if it happens, it's phenomenal. It makes the logistics that much easier. But without it, we can still do plenty of business in the U.S. and around the world on a state-by-state basis. So we're encouraging it. I think it's the right thing to do. Certainly will make safe banking, will open things up nicely, and logistically to get across state lines will make it that much easier. It'll happen. But if it doesn't this year, it's not a major impact to our revenue stream and our growth opportunities.
Sure. His name, Jim Mish. Jim, thank you so much once again. I can't wait for you to get back in the studio
Yeah, likewise.
and get back in town. We're excited to see what happens. Once again, Jim Mish is his name, CEO of a company called 22nd Century Group, that we follow pretty closely here. XXII is their stock symbol. You can go to xxiicentury.com. And once again, stock symbol XXI. Have a good stuff. And interesting, cannabis is coming back into the conversation. You know, I mean, I think it's interesting because cannabis was in favor as far as investing goes in 2013, 2014. Kind of went out of favor a little bit, or popularity, I should say. And of course, they're not simply a cannabis company in that industry. But I think what's really, kind of critical out there is that what happens if federal banking laws change? Well, I mean, it's like the end of prohibition. Yeah. Right? I mean, I think that's a piece of the big push. All right. Happy New Year. We're back. The day trader Quattro. Whoa. Much more to come. Yeah, bye.
Your dinner party was a hit. Your dishwasher took a hit.
Thank
Your
you.
teen is getting laundry tried. Your dryer left you hung to dry. Date night with the crush. Your toilet won't flush. Luckily, American Home Shield is there to fix or replace covered appliances and home systems to help you stay on course and budget. Protect, leave, expect. Visit AHA.com for 50% off.
If you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, listen up. We have legal professionals
official standing by to tell you how much your case is potentially worth. So I'll tell you who's watching and who should call it right now.
If anyone's been interested in support right now, we have live agents available to
I need a weapon.
how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. You heard it, folks. Call now.
Windshields are impossible to clean, and a dirty windshield can be downright dangerous. Introducing the Hurricane Windshield Wizard, the
Help.
one tool that reaches and cleans for you. It uses the power of fills with tap water and dispenses at the touch of a button, so you can clean in seconds without straining. And it folds away for space-saving storage. Order now and get the Hurricane Windshield Wizard with free extra bonnet for just $19.99. But order now and you can double the offer. Plus, you can also get the Battle Visor, the visor that blocks the harsh glaring sun and keeps you safe on the road. Just pay a separate fee, and we'll ship everything to you for free. That means you can get all this and free shipping. Order